All right, guys, let's talk about how you lose $250 million in taxpayer money and then somehow end up the victim of your own screw up. Okay. So this is Minnesota and Tim Walz. Okay. This is the guy who was going to be your vice president. Okay. He loses. Right now, we're counting up to $8 billion, but what's been confirmed is over $250 million. And supposedly, the serious people from the Democrat Party who know how to organize serious business, who care about kids, right? Uh, they've got fake nonprofits, ridiculous meal counts, money flying out the door like it's Black Friday. And in line from the top is, or the line from Tim Walz is, don't look at us. We just got here. It's been happening for years. So should that make it okay? So tonight, we want to do something really simple. Take what Tim Walz and his people are telling us and compare it to what their own auditors and prosecutors are saying on paper. And um, well, we're also going to be looking a little into the shooting that was reported today, and we're also going to be taking a look at Tim Walz's stepping down from office. Not from office, but from his run for re-election. And Canary King wants us to talk Venezuela. So we're going to take it. So we're going to get to Venezuela last, okay? So help us speed run this. Now, as always, thanks for joining us. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. We're going to be talking to the chat. We want to go through the stories, give our commentary, and you know what? If there's anything that you remember that we haven't covered, dump it in the chat and we will jump right on it. If you've seen the latest video that we released, say yes in the chat. We want to know if you've actually seen the video because we're assuming that you watched the video. For those of you who've subscribed, thanks for subscribing. We sent out a notification. Hello, Intergalactic Wrangler. We sent out a notification yesterday afternoon to kind of explain the direction the channel is heading in. And I hope you all read the notification. Now, if you didn't get the notification to read the post, okay, that means you didn't hit the bell icon. So hit the bell icon and be notified. So essentially, I'll talk about this at the end of the live stream. So let's get right to the top of this conversation. Tim Walz essentially wants us to believe that the reason why they are being investigated, first of all, he claims that it's white supremacy. We covered it in the video. Okay. He claims that it's white supremacist to call for accountability when the people who commit the crimes happen to be Black Somali individuals. All right. So first off, we will go from the top. Okay. So you guys be patient with me. All right. So this is a new format, and here's how it goes. Okay. This is a new format. What we're doing is we release videos that cover a certain story, and then the next day we do a live stream covering the story that we released the day before. So it's niching down to stories that we've already released. So I hope you enjoy this new format. Okay, so let's start with the very first thing that Tim Walz claims when he's caught. He says that they were scammed and that the officials and the Somali community, not the community, but the people who stole the money were the victims. So, Patricia, what do you have to say about that? I'm not American, okay, but I'm infuriated to see that billions of dollars were stolen. Immigrants are complicit in the stealing of the money. I'm upset with the immigrants. Okay, so I have words for the immigrants, but what do you have to say to Tim Walz and other American office holders who want us to believe that the reason why this happened was white supremacists, was white supremacy, and that they are the victims?
Lord, please let more people drive by his house at 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, we also included the video of people calling Tim Walz a retard, driving by his house, blasting their horns and calling him a retard. So if you want to see that, we have the video. It's it's right there. We're not playing it here. You have to go watch the actual video. Yeah, go on.
You know, the communists really did this better than the Democrats do.
Yeah,
They will tell you a story that is totally false, trying to get you to believe it so they don't look so stupid.
yeah,
And I think the reason why Walz came out and announced that he wouldn't run for reelection is because there's a money trail going to show up,
yeah,
and it's going to lead straight to his back pocket. And I think what you're seeing out of him is as desperate of a cry out as Mark Kelly gave,
yeah.
knowing that what they've done is wrong and that they're going to have to pay a price for it, but yet they want everybody to feel sorry for them over it.
Oh yeah. If, they got caught allowing massive fraud happening in Minnesota. They
Yep.
said it's the Trump administration. They're witch hunting us. They got caught with daycares not opening, not even existing or even doing business. There are no kids at the daycare, and they say that it's a MAGA YouTuber that's out there looking for trouble and trying to barge into daycares and endanger kids. And
For
then finally, when he knows that all of this is indefensible, well, let's also say that he got called a retard, and he wants to be the victim for being called a retard. Okay, well, I'm going to throw that in. Now, after he got caught doing all of this, he decides that um, running for re-election isn't going to work. Okay, it's
right,
too bad. He can't win. He resigns, and in his and not resigns. I keep saying resigns.
he should have
Am
resigned.
I channeling something?
Yes,
Am I channeling something? Are we going to see? Are we going to see Tim Walz resign? Okay, are we going to
I
see Tim
wonder if
Walz
that
resign?
will be before he's handcuffed or after.
Look, I heard that Trump sent thousands of agents to investigate in Minnesota.
2,000.
2,000 agents.
They're knocking on doors.
So I am expecting arrests. I am expecting massive resignations. And I'm expecting meltdowns claiming that Trump is witch hunting Democrats who have been known to steal taxpayer money.
The more hysterical story is that Gavin Newsom came out and said they're investigating fraud in California.
Yeah, the arsonist is investigating the fire.
Yes,
I mean, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
yes.
So we're going to talk
He's
about,
trying to get ahead of it
yeah,
because he knows that if you go looking for fraud in the blue states,
yeah,
you're going to find it.
and you'll find lots of it. Now, here's how the fraud worked. Okay, so we promised that we're going to break down how all of this happened and try to present you with some evidence. But this is the first version of this live stream. I've explained what we're doing now, so I'm going to mess this up one way or the other. Okay, so I'm just going to try. I'm going to try. So let's explain how the fraud worked overall. First off, people created pop-up nonprofits. Essentially, these were nonprofits that didn't exist.
Right.
Okay, weeks before they put in applications for funding for whatever program they had. They were just created just to apply for these grants. And then once they put in their applications, they were instantly approved. Why? Because they were from a certain um, a certain race, from
Right.
a certain voting bloc. Okay. Two, those nonprofits engaged in, so some of them were engaged in food drives for feeding children during the COVID relief projects and all and so on. And guess what they did? They um, they said that they were feeding more children than those neighborhoods contained. So let's say you have a neighborhood of with 500 kids. They claimed, let's say they were feeding 2,000 kids every day.
Yep.
They ballooned their records to pretend that what they were doing was bigger than what they actually did. And
You
then,
cannot
but it,
convince me that any elected official who seen those numbers would have believed them. Because one thing I can tell you about elected officials, when they campaign, they know how many people's there.
yeah,
They know it.
yeah. Now, speaking about the elected officials and the bureaucrats in the state, okay, so the legislative auditor said that they had serious concerns about these NGOs and businesses that were popping up. Some of them had very fishy paperwork, but yet they kept getting paid. That is from the legislative auditor of Minnesota.
Now, there is a woman that was interviewed that does run an autism program,
Yeah,
a legit one. And she said she didn't understand because they get audited every year
yeah,
of, how many children are you serving and where's the money going?
yeah.
And they have to answer to all of that. And she
And
said, I don't see how an auditor would have went into one of those businesses, organizations, and came out with facts.
well, I think they may have tried to audit those businesses, but they kept getting threatened that if they didn't pass the audits, that they would claim that they didn't pass because of racism.
That may have been true.
Yeah, because it's been said that from some of the whistleblowers that whenever they sent them these notices that their organizations were out of compliance, that they would get emails threatening them to say that if they stopped funding, that they were going to go to the press and tell the press that funding was withheld because of racism.
So that
And
was a Democrat ploy.
yeah,
The
well,
Democrats are the only ones that use the race word.
all right, so guys, let's know if you agree with that conclusion in the chat. All right, we have a few more minutes to cover this story, and then we're going to talk about Venezuela. We're going to talk about the shooting in Minnesota. We'll cover that first. We'll talk about Venezuela, and then finally we'll circle back to talking about Tim Walz's dropping out of the race. It's a non-story, but it's just for your entertainment because it's more like it's more of them doing what they should do, but doing it in such a stupid way. All right, because right now, I mean, resign, keep your mouth shut, and go to the back of the room, and hope nobody remembers that you're there. But he has to stop. I keep saying resign, guys. Is Tim Walz going to resign? I keep saying this.
We should.
Okay, so he drops out of his re-election bid, and then while putting out his announcement on social media, he's blaming Trump and Nick Shirley. Of
I'm
course, Nick
responsible,
Shirley.
said I'm responsible for it, but it's Trump's fault.
Well, well, um, kind of reminds me of the cat ate my homework. You know, it's the cat's fault, but I put it near the cat, soaked it in cheddar. Oh well. Okay,
My
so
daughter did steal my homework one time.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I had to tell the professor I'll be back in 15 minutes. I got to run to her daycare and get my homework out of her backpack.
All right. So keep the chats coming. We see what you're doing. We see what you're doing in the chat. We're gonna get to you. We just want to wrap up this. Put a bun. Just put a bun. A bow, not a bun. Put a bow on this. And if you haven't seen the video, okay, the video went live yesterday. So go over, watch it. It's a fun watch, and let me know in the comment section of that video what you think of that video, and whether you want me to do more of those kinds of videos. I think it's going to be fun. I'm getting better at doing those videos, and I think you're going to enjoy the ones that I'm working on next. I'm working on one um, that I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil it. So let's wrap this up. So first off, you have low barriers. You have people just creating NGOs because of the color of their skin. They come from a certain country, and then they want to, they want the American dream, and then they start an NGO. And instead of putting them through the same rigors that other NGOs owned by Caucasian people, white people, people
Black
of a lighter
American,
skin tone,
yeah.
whatever your flavor is, I'm going to put it in there. We know that there's a process for approving companies or NGOs that that are owned by white people.
Well, there's
But
a whole lot of paperwork that goes
yes,
through um, getting a nonprofit organization on the books.
yeah, my wife wanted to work with someone who had just opened a certain company. I don't want to just give out the details. And that person, lovely person, white person, says, "Oh, I would love to." And then a few days later, gets back to my wife to say, "Look, there's so much paperwork, and I'm just starting business. I can't get into that paperwork just so I can get you on the team." And I was like, "Wow, there's so much paperwork just to have someone work with you on
Yeah,
something." So there's a lot of regulation when it comes to taxpayer money. How come none of that was being observed in Minnesota? No, it's white supremacy.
it was like, don't look,
It's
but, but,
crazy.
but pay me for not looking.
Second, record keeping. They barely have any record keeping. So now they're having press conferences claiming that a burglar broke into their daycare and stole paperwork and check. Like, I don't. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's what
Okay.
the dog ate my homework.
Oh no. And they're blaming Nick Shirley. That there's a YouTuber that did a video, and his video caused people to break into the daycare and steal our paperwork. Oh, well, there's copies. If in case that joker doesn't know, there are copies uh, at City Hall.
Well, the
So
funny part is when the feds went in, they confiscated boxes of paperwork plus all computers and hard drives.
oh,
Yeah, and phones connected to it. Everybody's phone connected
uh,
to them was confiscated, and all the phone records from the company was confiscated. So they're trying to throw up some sort of firewall that doesn't exist,
yeah,
and they're all getting caught red-handed.
yeah. And then let's see. So
And in the case of the Somalians, they are not only going to face jail time, but they can have their citizenship revoked and shipped back to Somalia when they come out of jail
which is expected.
if they decide to put them in jail. If
Yeah,
they don't put them in jail, they may just go ahead and strip them of citizenship
yeah.
and get them out of here.
So I have a relative. I have a relative who got a green card, and then uh, spent uh, spent time in and out of prison for several years.
Oh my.
Okay, and just kept making bad decisions, and eventually he was stripped of his green card and deported to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Is that racist? No.
No.
Okay, like whenever I have these conversations, I like to throw in the fact that I have personal experience with some of
Right.
these things, and I don't think it's racist to uphold law and order. The reason why the United States, Canada, it used to be the same for England. The reason why we fall over each other to try and get into these countries is because they uphold the law. That is why the countries are working so well. The reason why the third world is the way it is because we make these kinds of like there's a double standard. There's a two-tier legal system. One legal system for people with connections or money, and a different one for everyone else. And that's why societies and countries like Nigeria and other countries break down, because there's a two-tier system. So it aggravates me to see things like this happen. And all right, so the evidence is out there, guys. Okay, we're going to pivot over to Venezuela. All right, but before we pivot to Venezuela, let's let's look at the chat. Okay, I can't. Okay, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna mess things up. Okay, so chat, you guys, hang on. Keep putting your messages in the chat. I'm gonna read the chat when we're done with covering all these stories. I can see that you're asking for coverage on Venezuela. I promised that we were going to do Venezuela, but before that, we talked about the situation in um, in Minnesota, where an ICE agent ran over or shot one of these people who have been testing ICE for months. They've been testing ICE for months, and we kept saying that this is dangerous and somebody is going to get hurt. We kept saying it, and they kept pushing. So now someone is dead, and here's what they're saying about it. I just want to make sure that I have the right video. Okay, let's see. Do I have the right video? Yes, I think I do. So here's what they're saying about the ICE officer who shot this protester who was using her vehicle. They've been using their vehicle for months to attack ICE agents, attempting to run them over. Yes, Patricia.
You need to know that she was shot through the windshield when she was driving her car
Mm,
forward.
okay. So,
That tells you where that officer was at that
yes,
shot her.
yes, she was about to run the officer over.
And he
So,
did actually get injured.
yeah. So let's watch this, and then we'll give our reaction, and keep your comments coming.
Invading our cities, using excessive force, lawlessly, with new agents, without proper training. And sadly, this was not unexpected, but it is egregious. It was an outright murder. And the fact that the administration is trying to defend the ICE officer when everyone can see with their own eyes that that car was trying to get away, because it still turned away from the officer after she was shot in the head. So the fact that they are arguing that somehow this is domestic terrorism, much less an attack on ICE, is preposterous. This officer not only needs to be fired and suspended, but based on the video, he needs to be charged with murder.
And do you think that
Thanks.
will happen?
I have no idea what will happen. You need to look at the.
So I've
There was something major said by him
yep.
that the car turned away from him after she was shot in the head.
I was going to talk about that. They think you're stupid. Okay, they believe, bless you, they believe that you and I are morons, that we don't know how biology works.
According to his statement, she was still alive and didn't die until she crashed her car into another car in a tree or a telephone pole or something.
Yeah, like she got shot, and then being such a good person, she decided to swerve the car away from the person who shot her before she died.
I got news for you. You get shot in the head, you're not in control of that vehicle anymore.
Of course, it's like getting clubbed. Like you pass out, you're gone. You know, like these. You know what? I thought I had been cured from just losing my temper on on these guys.
Yeah, the officer that shot her,
Yep.
she turned away from him
Hmm.
after she got shot in the head.
Yeah.
So was she not going to turn away from him before she got shot in the head?
So intergalactic wranglers, he put up this earlier, much earlier, when we were covering the crazy story about Tim Walz and the crazy bureaucracy and 250 million being lost. Says citizens blocking the road on purpose and hitting ICE agents. The agent shot and killed the driver. We've been warning about this for months. I have old videos that have been crying out saying someone is going to get killed and they're going to blame ICE. We have Don Lemon calling people to arm themselves and attack federal agents.
That
We
is
have
not going
people,
to turn out well.
and no, no, whenever that happens and the person gets killed, idiots like this, okay, I have to ask for forgiveness, but idiots like this come on camera and try to convince all of us that that person did the right thing. You don't take a a vehicle. She was driving an SUV. Okay, that's a weapon.
It's called vehicular homicide in America.
Yeah, so she's driving essentially a missile at someone on foot and expects that person to just lay down and let her drive over him. Okay, that's what they expect. And then when they get hurt and get killed, they stand in front of the camera like the idiots who stood in front of the camera and blamed Trump for the National Guardsmen who got attacked. They're going to do the same thing when one of these ICE agents gets killed. So they're damned if they defend themselves, and they're damned if they don't.
Oh, they're damned if they defend themselves, and they're dead if they don't. And
Look,
it's that mayor needs to be held accountable for inciting violence.
yeah,
He's stoking it to incite violence against federal officers. Like his mayorship is over the power of the federal government. And I
it's
think it's time for Trump to show everyone in the blue states that no, you are not over federal government.
look. Here's what I believe. Okay, I believe that while the Trump administration and everyone else out there, including conservative influencers, are out there doing their job and speaking up, regular citizens have to make their voices heard. They have to make their voices heard. Buffoons like this guy, okay, I can call him all kinds of names because what he just did is evil. What he
Yes.
just did is evil, flat out evil. It is demonic. It is satanic. You can't see that video and then claim that the officer was out of his was out of order in defending or protecting himself. These people have been doing this for months. attacking ICE agents, federal agents, border patrol agents, and then they laugh about it because it's because there's no consequences. That, like, they've routinely rammed ICE agents and border patrol agents with their vehicles, and then now someone gets killed, and then their response is it was the ICE agent's fault. He's a murderer. He shouldn't just lose his job. He should lose his livelihood. He should go to jail. You should ruin his life because of the insanity of that person who was driving the car, trying to run him over. And then people like him need to be prosecuted. I'm
Yes.
just gonna, like, they need, because they are inciting violence. Okay, you have Democrats claiming that President Trump incited an insurrection when it was the BBC splicing videos together to make it look like he did. But here you have these guys saying this thing uncut in front of the camera, encouraging people to attack ICE.
Yeah, I think it's time for some federal agents to walk into their offices,
No,
handcuffs out,
it's
read them
like
rights, and take them into custody and
like
wipe them
this
out in front of God and everybody.
this has to stop. I don't know about you guys, but look, I'm fed up with this craziness.
Well,
I'm
the worst thing about all of this is those people showing up to protest think that the mayor and the governor has some sort of magical power that's going to protect them. And they don't realize that these buffoons are sitting in their offices surrounded by their bodyguards and only come out to speak in front of a microphone and a camera. They're not out there on the street with the people. They're not showing up with the people to stand in the street. They'll show up after an incident happens, but they won't go out there with the people to protest it.
I
So
like
they're just inciting people to do their dirty work, and they don't care if those people end up in prison or a grave. They
I'm
could care
like
less about that.
I am so upset right now because apart from the fact that you have them out there making a fool of themselves and so on, you have this person who is clearly misguided, jumped into her car, should have been doing something productive with her life, and then she attempts one of those crazy things that she saw maybe on TikTok or on YouTube and thought she was going to get away with it like everyone else, and then she gets killed. They've been doing this for months. I'm so upset about this. I don't know if I have a right to be upset about it.
You have a right.
You know,
Any human being that values human life has a right to be upset about this because those people are being totally misled about what's going on. The politicians come out and say, oh, they're separating families. They're not telling the truth to the people that those agents are there to arrest people who have been found guilty of a crime, murder, drug dealing, human trafficking, rape, assault. And they're trying to say that, oh, and I'll tell you what, the reasoning behind that is that they know once all the criminals are rounded up, that the people that haven't committed the crimes
yeah,
stand to be deported also. And I'll tell you why they will be. Number one, they crossed the border illegally.
yeah,
They claimed false asylum. It is against the law to claim asylum falsely.
yeah,
And in order to claim asylum, you have to be fearful of the government in your country.
yeah,
And people from Honduras and a lot of the places down in South America are not fearful of their governance. They're fearful of their own people. And people doesn't count on asylum claim.
Yeah. You know, okay, so that's the picture of, sadly, the lady who got killed. She wasn't murdered, she was killed. And Intergalactic Wrangler says, I'm with ICE. That girl did not comply with get out of the car, then used her car as a weapon. Okay. That car, if you're driving a vehicle, one of the things that I was taught when I went to driving school was that your vehicle is literally a projectile. If you handle it the wrong way and lose control, and it flips and runs into a playground, people are going to die.
Right.
It's not like the movies, guys. Spider-Man is not going to show up and catch the car before it hits you or hits your child. You are not the main character. Things happen to people. That's what these people don't realize. They have this main character syndrome that assumes that nothing is going to happen to me. I'm going to be here to the end of the movie so I can engage in all kinds of foolishness. That's what she did.
Well, she was in control of that vehicle until the moment that bullet hit her.
Yeah.
And I don't feel sorry for her because she was doing something illegal. It is illegal to interfere with police operations, period. I mean, have you seen these people run out when their local police go to arrest somebody who shot someone else or robbed a store or attacked another person? Are there protesters lining up calling the police Nazis because they went after a killer? No. And that's mainly what they're doing is they're showing up to protest somebody who is charged with a crime
Yeah.
from being taken into custody. And why are these people charged with crimes running around in their neighborhoods?
And they feel fine. They just feel fine protecting and defending criminals. Someone gets
one of them gets one of their loved ones.
Like I said, they are the main character in their own movie. They believe that, you know, it's their way or the highway. Whatever those people said isn't happening because it didn't happen to me. That's basically the way they see life. Now, I'm going to read some comments from X, and then I'm going to jump into the comment section before we flip over to Venezuela.
One more point.
Yes.
I find it very offensive that these states call themselves sanctuary and that these cities call themselves sanctuary because they're not containing the criminals they're protecting. Those criminals leave those states and cities and enter our states and cities.
Yeah. And then they commit crimes and then run back to those states and cities.
Yes. So no, I don't recognize sanctuary for any criminal.
Yeah. All right. So I'll read some quick comments. Read your chat. Okay. I see your chat. I'm going to read them and then we'll flip over to Venezuela. I'm going to mention Venezuela in the video that is being released tomorrow. So Venezuela is going to feature in that one, and the live stream after that, we're going to sink our teeth into Venezuela. It's going to be fun. Okay. Now, Sasanovich says a car is a weapon. Okay. And this was posted much earlier. And then Redheaded Libertarian says it's clear that the woman in Minnesota tried to run down an ICE agent and clipped him. We saw it with our eyes. A human tried to run down another human. That's what this buffoon that we just watched tried to make seem like she was exercising her right to protest. So running over people and murdering them is protest now. Democrat leaders calling for people to rise up anyway in hopes for George Floyd too is overtly seditious and they should be censured. Talking about censure, they should be charged with inciting violence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What now? What's this? Um. So this is what's going on X, and I'm just going to mention this very briefly and jump into the chat. Okay. This account, Lucian, says in response to the comments about the woman being killed by the ICE agent, says, good to know that you're fine with putting down people you don't like. It's very good to know for the future. This is a leftist talking.
Yeah.
I hope you understand this is a two-way street. So in his head,
Well, all I've got to say to him is, what about Ashley Babbitt?
Babbitt.
Bud, the Dem started it.
Yep.
Period.
All right.
And that
All right.
was not an unarmed woman that they shot.
Nope. She was in a car. She was about to drive over an ICE agent. So let's see. Canary King says, is it me or is this generation lacking common sense?
Well, when you brainwash people, they lose common sense. Period.
And then Intergalactic Wrangler, on a lighter note, says, why do you gotta do Spidey like that? because I brought Spidey into this. Look, it is clear to everyone who's watching that these people are out of their minds, including this character, Lucian. They're all out of their minds.
Lucian just, I mean,
because you're comparing apples to coconuts. You're comparing apples to coconuts.
Yep.
This lady is driving a projectile and attacking a federal agent. So, in his books, that's okay. But whenever they say things like this, all they mean is, don't worry, when we get back into power, we're going to shoot you and say that we're putting you down. That's what they have in their heads.
Well,
okay,
I advise them not to come to the South.
Well,
because they show up with guns down here, they ain't gonna live long.
All right, so let's flip on over to Maduro. So for those of you,
that poor man.
Yeah, so for those of us, okay, so let's talk about Maduro. Okay, I had a lively conversation with my wife yesterday. You know, I can talk about my wife behind her back. She hardly watches my show, so I can do that here. She's busy with the kids, okay? She takes care of that, so I can do this. Okay, so I really appreciate my wife, but she sent me a message yesterday and was shocked that the United States. In fact, I want to play the video, and I think I can do that here. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull up this video. Excuse me. I'm going to pull up this video and I'll pull up the video and then yeah, so I'm just going to put this on a loop. Okay. So I'll just okay. So this is, I'm gonna start the video over. Okay, it's gonna loop. So this is the sights and sounds of Venezuela, of Caracas, the night the strong man Nicolas Maduro was picked up from his fortress, guarded by Cuban
elite soldiers.
And
that had no luck stopping our elite forces.
Yeah. Canary King says Maduro is hot news. We should tackle this topic in detail. Okay. So we're going to do that now because yesterday when Patricia and I were talking, oh my goodness, do you know what? I apologize, guys. I thought I had this on the screen. Sorry. Totally thought I had it on the screen. All right, there it is. All right. So, um, excuse me. Let me let me take this down. Zoom in. Okay.
They even gave them some free fireworks that night.
Yeah. So it was a happy new year. So this was going on in Caracas that night. And um so Canary King, you have things to say. I would love for you to put them in the chat. If you're watching and you have contributions about this story, please put them in the chat. Okay. Now, um, so the story is that this had been planned. This was in the works since last year, and they planned a carefully executed extraction. There were no American casualties. There were heavy casualties on the
In Cuba.
Cuban side because Maduro doesn't even trust his own citizens to protect him.
Well, the
And whenever,
been controlling the streets there for a long time.
sorry,
The Cubans has been on boots on the ground in Venezuela for a long time.
yes, they have been, and it makes. Just give me a second. I need to. My wife is calling me, so since she's being so helpful, just give me a second. I just need to take this call.
But yeah, a lot of people didn't know that um, the Venezuelan soldiers were replaced by the Cubans because the Cubans would shoot the Venezuelans. It was like, oh, we're having an uprising. Send me some help. And then when this same guy threatened to skip out of the country in one of the uprisings, Cuba and Russia threatened to put him in prison.
All right, guys, this is not Fox News. Okay, I don't have a professional studio. I'm using my spare bedroom, and my wife needs help with the kids. So,
Yeah, Maduro
yeah.
got help from the Cubans and the Russians to put down the last uprising there. And
Okay.
he was ready to leave the country, skip out, and Cuba and Russia both threatened to put Maduro in prison if he left.
Mm.
So I'm thinking he really wanted to leave and made a deal with Trump to be taken out of the country.
Well, it's very possible that a deal was struck. No one in their sound mind would put up their fists against the United States, especially when you live in the same hemisphere as the United States.
Well, it's comical that Cuba threatened America. And I think they might have forgotten that we have a huge military base in Cuba. It's called Gitmo.
Well, it's all posturing. It's all posturing. In the end, what we see is these people trying to appear strong. They need their people to feel like they're strong, they're capable, and anyone who tries to oppose them is going to meet a very sad end. So they're trying to make it appear Like, and look at these clowns. Who are these? Uh, is this in New York? I don't know.
Probably.
You have people who
Nah, those buildings are too.
too old. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's Cuba. I assume that's Cuba. All right. So
yeah, a country that their people are driving vehicles that were made in the 40s and the 50s is going to do what?
all right. So this is from January 5th, and the new president of Venezuela says okay, they ordered a nationwide mobilization and have declared a state of emergency, according to the Wall Street Journal. The current government said it will counter the imperialist attack with armed resistance.
Huh, imagine that.
It's all posturing. Natural libre. It's all
Like,
posturing.
it's like rushing out to the barn and closing the doors after the horses have left the barn.
Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to
And then they turned around and shot their own drones down.
all right. So conversation in the chat. Okay, conversation in the chat. Let me hide this and let's go full screen. You guys came to see us talk. You didn't come to see X and videos on X. So let's talk. All right. So Canary King says, I'm generally against foreign adventures, but I gotta give Trump credit. This was flawless. I wonder if we have the full picture.
No, you do not have the full picture. That will never be given.
Yeah. You
Because
don't
there was conversation going back and forth between Trump and Maduro.
yeah. Like this was an amazing execution. And for everybody in Congress who claimed that Pete Hegseth wasn't experienced enough to run the Department of War.
Good Lord. But I said I could hear a little whisper from Maduro telling President Trump, I can't leave. The Cubans will shoot me. Come get me.
I saw a picture of Maduro giving a thumbs up. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna he's he's
Yeah,
posing with he's posing
handcuffs on
with
and
the people
thumbs up.
who he's there
Right
he
there.
is. He's giving them a thumbs up. It's like the guy is happy to be here. Okay,
It's like,
this is retirement for Maduro. It's just retirement.
I mean,
Okay.
even if they put him in prison, he's going to be in the lap of luxury.
Oh no, he's just
You know,
he's retiring to a country club somewhere in America. He's just going to be having fun.
and
You know.
all those agents there are DEA. They are not military.
Yeah.
That even made it even more funny.
It's crazy. So we didn't even send our best.
If our DEA can do that, boy, Venezuela, you're in trouble.
Oh boy. Intergalactic Wrangler says they bombed that statue for fun.
Just for fun. Yeah.
Just for fun. Canary King says, from a geographic perspective, this was excellent. Oh, sorry, from a geopolitical perspective, this was excellent. It shows Chinese weaponry systems are not as advanced as they seem in the brochures. They are not, because the military grade chips that the United States has full control over that are manufactured in Taiwan, which is why Taiwan is so important, aren't in the possession of the Chinese yet. And so that's why Trump is trying to move chip manufacturing back to the United States, because the military grade chips that is exclusively meant for the US military is exclusively produced in Taiwan for now. And I think they're going to move that manufacturing to the United States. It's like the phones that they. I'm sorry?
There's a history about the oil in Venezuela.
Okay.
Venezuela did not develop oil in Venezuela. Those were American and British companies that went to Venezuela and developed the oil fields. They
Mm,
also built the refineries and the shipping mechanism to get the oil out of Venezuela ports.
yeah. So
So,
that takes me back to the conversation I had with my
yeah,
wife because she was watching left-wing media news and she's like, "Oh, the horror! Trump and the United States went into Venezuela for the oil," and I was like, sorry, what?"
and when Chavez took over and confiscated those oil companies, there was American citizens down there trying to take care of their companies, and he put them in prison and
Yeah.
confiscated their property.
So Venezuela would not have had an oil industry if it hadn't been for British and American companies that went there to
Correct.
develop those industries. That is why we keep screaming about socialism. Socialists don't know how to build anything. They're greedy, envious people who wait until creative people like you and I build stuff up and then they show up with their hands out saying that they own everything, that you stole the wealth from them. Where were they when it was time to create the wealth? All right, that's a video of Maduro being perp walked, okay, from the jet. So let's see.
You know, he
Yeah,
does not look upset.
no. Look, everyone in the world knows that if you're in the hands of the United States, you're safe. But if you're in the hands of, say, the Taliban, you're
Or the
dead.
Democrats.
Everyone knows. So, with all the bluster about how evil the United States is, if you're in the hands of Navy SEALs, if you're captured by Navy SEALs, you're fine. They're not going to kill you and toss you out of a Black Hawk. Okay?
Well,
Unless, unless. Okay. So let's go on to next. Let's see. Intergalactic Wrangler says, yeah, China is in panic mode. I agree.
and what
China
has
is,
China ever invented besides fireworks?
like I said, socialists. Socialists. So if they're so fantastic, let them create those military grade chips.
They can't. Their people are too. When you go into communism
Yeah.
and they control the people so much that the people live in fear, one thing that living in fear will take away from you is creativity,
Yeah.
ingenuity, and inventing. Because the people aren't going to do it. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
You don't get money for doing it in a communist country because
Yeah.
the communist government owns it.
Yeah.
So go figure.
Yeah.
And what is wrong with that plane behind them?
No. They are blacking. They're pixelating the faces
Oh,
of the agents.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing. They're hiding their faces.
Well,
So
it looks
for
like that the plane has a hole blown through it.
oh no, it was just the all the faces were pixelated to protect the agents who were involved. Um, I'm waiting for Hakeem Jeffries to demand their faces to be revealed. I
I'm
wouldn't put it
waiting
past
for
them to start
Hakeem
doing
to
it.
visit Maduro in jail.
Oh yeah, no, they're
Maybe Mondani will go visit him and take him some cookies.
yeah. I hope you guys enjoy the video that's coming out tomorrow because I'm going to be mentioning a bit of some of those. Not exactly the individuals in the Democrat Party, but the mindset that they have. It's so
You do know
crazy.
that Trump did not need to have him taken to New York to face trial.
No, he didn't.
No, that was done on purpose.
Oh boy. Canary King says, plus China needs a huge supply of crude. Venezuela is or was a major supplier.
Yeah, they need more oil than they can get their hands on with their invasion size military.
Mm. Uh, now I'm
Cuba's the one that is really going to be affected by this because they were getting the oil from Venezuela.
hmm,
They were part of getting the wealth out of Venezuela too.
well. I guess that's why they were the first to go apoplectic about the whole thing.
And
Intergla-
throughout America,
yeah.
while
Inter-
having a major, and that base in Cuba is huge. I mean, that thing, it's not a little base, it is huge. That whole area on let's see, it's on the southern side, southeastern side of the Cuban island,
yeah.
and there's nothing else around it.
All right. So keep your comments coming, but we're going to try and just keep. We're going to speed through the comments, and we still need to talk about Tim Walz. We're going to do a mention about Tim Walz's pulling out of his race. Leave your comments about what you think, why you think he did it. Just put it in there. We're going to talk about it briefly, and then we will wrap up. I did intend to talk about Iran, but Venezuela is so big, and I think it's going to be big for a while in the news cycle. Um, let's see. Cuba was protecting Maduro. Miss Rodriguez will comply, or CIA will um
Unalive her.
unalive her. Well, uh,
Nah, they ain't gonna kill her. She's
it's it's
secondary.
it's too obvious, and I think the United States has made the point that they were trying to make. They've made the point, and everybody with common sense, or at least with decent amounts of self-preservation, will take notice. Let's see.
Does
Um,
anybody remember if when they went and got Noriego out of Panama, if they took his wife with him?
I don't recall, but I can
I
ask Grok.
never heard about his wife being arrested with him.
Well, let's see what Grok says. Okay, so we're gonna read that. I'll ask Grok, but we'll let's see. Let me add a new. Okay, so
So the
let's
deal
read
may
this.
have been, you've got to arrest my wife too, because the Cubans would kill her.
Okay, so Canary King says also China has been creeping into the Americas, Brazil, Venezuela, the Caribbean, and they were even bragging they'd set up missiles close to the United States. Well,
That's fine and dandy. We can take them out before they get them off the ground.
all right, so let me see what the answer is about Noriega. But
I don't
intergalactic,
remember his wife being arrested with him.
yeah, well, Grok will let us know. Um, Intergalactic Wrangler says the chess pieces are bigger. Well,
Yep.
our chess pieces are bigger. Yeah, yeah, they are. I agree. Canary King says totally agree with Patricia. They probably had a deal, Maduro and Trump. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it. The opposition are saying that this smells like a deal between Trump and Maduro. Um, and you know what? I would agree that it has the fingerprints of a deal, uh, because Trump doesn't want long drawn out conflicts. He doesn't want American boots on the ground on foreign soil. He doesn't want Americans dying on foreign soil. He doesn't want civilian casualties. So I think, I mean, there's some merit to
There
that.
isn't going to be an invasion of Venezuela. There's
No,
no need to now.
no,
And
no.
the vice president, she doesn't know what to do. And from what I've heard, she has already made a deal with Trump on the oil.
Uh,
And to stop sending out the narco terrorist boats.
yeah.
We just keep blowing them out of the water.
Um, Canary King says China has been on a belligerent show in recent years.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to appear strong. And so they've been doing all of that, but their economy is just a paper economy. I've said this for
Yep.
years. It's a paper
Well,
economy. It doesn't take much to essentially destroy it. Trump just put sanctions on their companies,
all you
on
gotta
the
do is
country.
stop buying their junk.
Yeah.
But if you'll remember back when they had the meeting with China in Alaska, how rude the Chinese were to the American negotiators.
Mm.
And Biden didn't do nothing about that.
Well, um, because they are cowards. That's the short answer to that. They are cowards. They let people spit in the eye of America and make it sound like it was America's fault that they spat in your eye. That's stupid.
What's
It's
this
a
Nike Tech outfit?
sorry.
Canary Ken, explain yourself. What's a Nike Tech outfit?
On the lighter note, the Nike Tech was a Nike Tech outfit. I think he might be referring to this, to what he's wearing.
Oh,
I think he might be referring to what he's wearing.
I think they took those clothes down there to put them in it since they were getting them out of bed.
Well, so Canary King likes the outfit. So he's so. Do we
He's like,
take fashion advice from Maduro? Well, maybe.
his
Let's
wife
see.
did not look good in it.
Well, Canary King also says, "I've never seen a happier kidnappee." Everyone is losing their minds, and the person that that they're trying to raise hell about is sitting down and having a photo up with the guys who kidnapped him.
Yeah,
He's
with thumbs
so
up.
with thumbs up, like, yeah. Look.
I think
Um,
that thumbs up was to poke in the eye of Cuba and Russia.
like you guys missed.
Trying to put me in prison. I'll not go to a Cuban or Russian one, but I sure will go to an American one.
Oh, jeez.
I can
Oh,
hear it now. Oh, thank God, Trump, you're coming to get me.
um, let's see. He mentioned. Is he refer? I don't. He says. Okay. He says the great tracksuit. Okay, I'm gonna get to that eventually. Um.
What's he got on his feet? House
Uh.
shoes?
Well. Those look like Crocs. They're just slippers. They're just slippers. So he essentially had time. They kindly let him get his slippers. All right. He wasn't drug out of bed. Like he says, "Oh, you're here. Okay, sweetie, put on your slippers and your bathrobe. Let's go." Okay, so Intergalactic Wrangler says they attack on the weekend for stock markets come Monday, and the stocks have exploded.
Yep.
Like, how does that
Highest
work,
they've
guys?
gotten in history. Yeah.
Like, how does that happen that you run a military operation and then, well, I guess it's commerce because American tech oil companies are about to go back into Venezuela, and it's going
Yep.
to be a good first quarter for a lot of them.
They seen capitalism coming back.
Yeah. So all of the for all of the people out there, and I'm just going to say,
Well, I just keep thinking about that thing with Maduro with Cuba and Russia when he wanted to leave, and them threatening to put him in prison was a
yeah.
wake up call for him to realize, oh, they're not my friends.
So this is Venezuela for all of the people pearl clutching. Oh, Trump is invading sovereign countries. Oh. Here's Venezuelans are having a party out in the streets, huge celebrations, freedom and happiness. Here they are. Okay, the people who are oppressed, okay, they're having a party. All
I'll
right,
tell
you
you
can't.
what, that I seen on YouTube was I ran across some videos of the American protesters protesting about Maduro being abducted, and Venezuelans and Cubans showing up
Mm,
and yelling at them
like,
about about their support of Maduro.
yeah, like, look at that. Okay, look at that.
And this happened in every country that's got Venezuelans.
Yeah, Venezuelans. they they don't look peeved about their president getting abducted. They're very happy. Okay, all right. So that's not a war dance, guys. That's not a war dance. That's
That's
someone who is
happiness. That's
that's
happiness.
happiness. Okay, that's happiness. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Communists can say whatever they want. I lived under their regime, and I stand with the Venezuelans who
They're
are
doing
celebrating.
the Trump dance too.
Yeah, yeah.
The YMCA. Yep.
Oh, sheesh. It's crazy. Okay. We're gonna try to make these live streams under an hour, but today, like I said, I'm gonna mess it up, and I messed up this live stream because it was all over the place. But uh, did you guys enjoy it? Let me know in the chat, because we're gonna be doing more of this. It's all over the place, because if all we did was talk about the story from the original video, we would have been done, a while back. But you guys wanted to talk about Venezuela. Um, okay, Kanarakin says he was referring to the gray tracksuit he wore with the shades and earphones.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find that. Okay. Intergalactic Wrangler says love the flip flops. At least he's out of PJs. um Kanarakin says I heard the Nike tech outfit sold out. Look,
Huh.
Trump is making businesses tons of money.
And
He's
it's gonna
he's
get better.
Yeah, he's making businesses tons of money. So something is going on with Grok, because it's not responding. I'm gonna get that answer about Noriega's wife, but let's keep going. And then we have he was in his PJs. That is Intergalactic Wrangler. He was in his PJs when they caught him. Of course, he was in his PJs. It was in the middle of the night. And he looks very happy. He doesn't look like he's disturbed. Okay. Canary King says Venezuela oil means the dollar will explode. And he says, I have to say the Maduro dance was pretty funny. Look, so today we've covered several stories, and it's sad that we had to watch Democrats yet again lie about the facts of the the killing of a woman who attempted to use a vehicle as a projectile against federal agents. That's what we all saw happen. All right. If you haven't seen the video, go on X to look for the video. YouTube won't let you see some of that. They'll penalize any channel that kind of shows that.
She was not arrested with Noriega.
Okay, she was not arrested. So Noriega's wife was not arrested along
No.
with him. Okay, so we have that answer. So we covered the $250 million scam or theft in Minnesota. Talked about the we haven't talked about Tim Walz's dropping out of his gubernatorial race, but I think mentioning it is talking about it. And everyone is talking only about Maduro, his Nike tech outfit, the success of the mission. This is
And
this,
Iran.
and we wanted to talk about Iran, but we couldn't. So maybe by tomorrow, by the next live stream, there'll be more developments in Iran. Iran. Okay, so here's what's going on in Iran. If you care to see what's going on in Iran, Iran is experiencing a. It's it's hard to describe what's happening in Iran because it's hard to believe. Okay, so you have protests that started 11 days ago, I think, or was it 12 days ago?
Yeah, it's 11 days.
So it started out with the Iranian currency
Collapse.
essentially collapsing. And then businesses began to protest because the government essentially had mismanaged the economy. And then it's spiraled out of control. Now, this usually gets shut down
By
within,
day 3.
by day 3. People who are responsible are arrested, people disappear and so on, and people just go about their business. But this has grown so much, and and then President Trump, okay, um, so Amit Segal says this, Obama's reaction to protests in Iran, he just posted, "The world is watching." Meanwhile, Trump just says this: if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. The night that there were shootings where the military in Nigeria fired on and killed protesters in Nigeria, if I had seen this message from President Trump, or if during the protest before the shootings happened, and I had seen this from President Trump at the time, I would have been very pleased.
Yes.
So people who think that people in other countries are screaming, "How dare he try to interfere with our politics?" Look, there is no country on the planet like the United States. There is no Second Amendment or constitutional rights in any other country but the United States. Most countries have disarmed their people, and the only force that is allowed to execute violence at a large scale is the government. And so whenever you see people in other countries getting shut down by their government, is because they have no Second Amendment rights.
And remember the female basketball player in
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They didn't read me my rights.
Canary King says Trump should keep his knee on the neck of Iran and Nigeria.
Oh, I think he's got them past the knees, got them in chokeholds.
Yeah. So, Patricia,
the military is scared to death to fire on the civilians.
So, Patricia, can you give us a rundown, because you've been following the story on, about what's going on in Iran a lot deeper than I have. So, just give them a rundown so that.
Okay, a major thing going on is that the police departments are throwing down their weapons and joining the protesters. The Iraqi, there has been deep defects from the Iranian military members, and the military members that haven't defected are running away from the civilians that are not armed. And they've also been using water cannons on them. And the funniest pictures about that is they've got a water shortage in Iran right now, and the people are standing in front of the cannons like free shower. So, and the military is firing on civilians. They've also went into hospitals and abducted injured people. And that video you just showed where they're throwing stuff up in the air, the civilians raided the warehouses of the IRGC and they're throwing all of their food up in the air and
Yeah.
destroying it.
Yeah. So that's
So
the
IRGC is going to go hungry now.
yeah. So the government starves its own, well, they don't look hungry, but they essentially put in more effort into feeding people that help them crack down on
Well,
protesters.
Tusi said that the worst thing about the Iranian military, and he showed a picture of them, is they're all fat. They can't run. So the people, they raided the warehouse that the IRGC was storing their food in.
Yeah. So that's
And
what they're doing there
yeah, they're
on the
destroying
video.
the IRGC's food supply.
Ah.
Yeah. Because when I seen it, I was wondering, why are you destroying the food? You should take it home and use it.
Well, this post here says, if anyone tells you the protests in Iran are merely economic, show them this video. Essentially, if it was all about hungry people starving and it being all about the economy, people would be stealing the food and taking them home. So it's not about the economy. It's about the regime that has essentially created a
This is when the police raided a hospital.
mm,
They show
yeah,
up on motorcycles,
yeah.
and somebody's using a flamethrower on them.
Wow. Okay. YouTube might not like that video. All right. So Iran is in the midst of a revolution from everything that we can see. All right.
And they said every time the military attacks the civilians, more and more people come out the streets.
Yeah.
That
So
it's amazing what's going on there, that so many unarmed civilians are taking on an armed military and winning.
yeah. Yeah. So King, yes, Trump should keep his knee on the neck of Iran and Nigeria.
That mess in Nigeria needs to be cleaned up.
Yes, it does.
And them bad people in the northern part of Nigeria, yeah, they need to be sorted out by God.
And they will be. They will be. Okay, guys. I think we have had a fun show. Guys, let me know what you think of the new plan that we have for the channel. The channel essentially, we were having a bit of we were channel being on a decline. The last live stream we had, or the one before that, we talked about us bleeding. We were literally bleeding subscribers, and we had lost almost 30 subscribers. Okay, for some people they're like they lost thousands. Well, 30 for me is a big deal.
Yes.
Okay, so we were losing subscribers every day, and then after I made some of the changes that I made on the channel, we started gaining back subscribers.
Yes.
So
brilliant idea. Brilliant.
Yeah, like as soon as I made those changes, we began to gain subscribers. So we've also included shorts. So we also put out shorts now. So you're going to be seeing shorts in your feed. I hope you enjoy watching the shorts.
I hope you put the Tim Walz drive-by in a short.
Okay, I'll think about how I can make that happen. It is fun, guys. Watch the video. Just watch the video. That's all I can say. Watch the video.
We asked for video
and we got it.
Audio for
free. We got it. It was
delivered.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And that's you see it in the video, and it was amazing. Intergalactic Wrangler says, "Stay safe, everyone. I just come when I can." Thank you, Intergalactic Wrangler, and to everyone who watches the videos and joins the live stream. Thank you so much. You make this possible. Patricia, you are amazing. Thank you. You always show up whenever I call and you're available. I mean, I'm
I
blown
don't have
away.
a job.
And neither do I at this time. So Intergalactic Wrangler says, when they cut your algorithm, you know you're on the right track. Oh, really?
Got that right.
Yeah. So
I have to say, it was real fun having intergalactic angler and Canary Ken to
no,
comment tonight.
this is, to be honest, this is what the live stream is about. It's about the engagement. It's about talking about the stories, and we're going to be doing this often. The video
Yep.
that's coming out tomorrow, you guys just pray for me, guys, because I'm trying to do stuff that I don't normally do, because the videos are now edited, and it takes a while, but we're going to be working on this together. Make sure that you're getting notifications whenever we post stuff, because I'm going to be sending you messages on the community posts and letting you know how we're doing. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. We had an extra 30 minutes to the show, actually, way more than 30 minutes, because we want to keep the show under an hour to kind of keep it tight. But if you guys want us to keep going, you guys let us know in the chat. That's all we need you to know. If you guys want us to just keep going, tell us, okay, an hour is fine. Hey, we need more. We need more. Let us know in the chat. We're here to serve you. Okay. And to tell you the truth, where YouTube is concerned, you are the algorithm. All right. It's not some machine somewhere. It's about you. So if you're enjoying it and you signal to YouTube by commenting, by liking, by sending emojis and doing different things in the chat, you let YouTube know that you're enjoying the show and that you want to keep this channel going. So thank you, everyone who's watching on the main channel, on the backup channel, on Kick and Twitch. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next live stream tomorrow. We're releasing a new video, so look out for that video. It goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern, so look out for that video. We're going to be doing regular scheduled uploads, and we hope you enjoy them. Let us know in the comments what you think and give us some pointers. Patricia, any words?
Everybody have a great evening.
All right, bye-bye, and we'll see you on the next one. Welcome to Headlines and History, live news reactions and your views. We're about to go live soon, so grab your spot and get ready for a sharp, balanced take on today's biggest news stories with a dash of historical insight. Stay tuned. Each week, we tackle the headlines that matter: politics, economics, global events with a balanced lens. We'll react live, tie today's stories to historical moments, and spotlight your views in the chat. From trade talks echoing the 1990s to crises recalling 2008, we're here to unpack it all. Your voice drives the show. Share your thoughts or historical parallels in the live chat, and we'll dive into the best ones. It's news, context, and community all in 1 hour. We're moments away from launching Headlines and History. Stick around for live reactions, historical nuggets, and your chance to chime in. Hit the notification bell, prep your comments, and let's make sense of the news together. See you.